further ado, please welcome Mr. Todd Stoll and the High School Jazz All-Stars.
alto saxophone. Charlie Cohen on the piano. Welcome, Charlie. Mary Eisenberg on the trumpet. Luke Baruch on the That was Wynton Marsalis' Mendizorrotza Swing from 2008 from a suite he wrote for a place in Spain, Vitoria, Spain. It was a combination of the Basque people and the Spanish people and folks from the U.S. coming together. Boy, it's been a real pleasure to be here. I've been here for a week. Mr. Crystal said, come to Southern California in January, there'll be sun. At least it's not 15 degrees like New York City. So it's been an honor and a pleasure to be here. Kids are great. Everybody's been so wonderful. And man, what a great evening to support jazz education and jazz here in Southern California. Give yourself a round of applause. Next month, we lost one of jazz's great guiding forces and guiding lights, a man who was both a force of nature and absolutely one of the most zen human beings in the world, and that was the great Wayne Shorter. And in 2015, he did a residency at Jazz at Lincoln Center. Most of the music you're going to hear tonight, we've recorded with the Jazz at Lincoln Center Orchestra. So no kids' music up here tonight, folks. It's all grown folks tonight. And this is a piece that was arranged by the great trumpet player Marcus Printup, and one of Wayne's pieces from the 60s, and it is called Armageddon. tenor solo. So I want a hand for these kids. They played the absolute heck out of that. And the whole band. This next tune is an arrangement of a folk song that was actually became part of a classical piece of music. A really wonderful composer and arranger and trombonist that we're actually going to publish some of her music next year, named Melba Liston. And this piece was arranged in the late 50s for the Dizzy Gillespie Band. Dennis Crisco has promised $100 of cold hard cash to anyone who can say where this particular selection is from. You just have to write that on your answer on a $100 bill and give it to Mr. Crisco. And he will provide that prize money. But it's a familiar tune, and we get to the end, we'll see if any of you know what it is. But right now it's called Annie's Dance by Melba Liston.
alto saxophone. How about a hand for you? Miles Olson on the trumpet as well. How about a hand for our drummer, Danger Will Robinson there on the drums. Keeping it all together. Someone named the composer. Who said Grieg? Someone said Grieg. Our whole room full of band directors. Someone's got Grieg. Yeah, Edvard Grieg. Yeah, that's Anitra's Dance from what's the suite? Yeah, Peer Gynt. So what's interesting is that Duke Ellington also did a version of this same exact tune about 5 years later. So who was influencing the great Melba Liston? We did a residency at the University of Kansas. Now, University of Kansas basketball doesn't have quite the tradition that perhaps UCLA has or University of Kentucky. But they asked us to write pieces of music based on famous Kansas basketball players, of which Will Chamberlain was one. He played his college ball there. And this one was written for Lyle Lavelle, I think. It was I'll look at the name over there. It's like Lavelle Lytle, who was one of the first really big centers in the 1950s. He was about 6'9" and about 380 pounds. And so the tune is called the Ponderous Pachyderm of the Planks. Ponderous Pachyderm. And it is going to feature our entire trombone section. Woo! Look at that. Fans of the trombone. And also Barry sax, because that's kind of trombone adjacent. So, this is the trombone.
Let's go, Luke.
The trombone section in the Jazz Lane Center Orchestra always accuses me of not being a fan of the trombones, so I did this just for them. So, the other half of these fine young people. We're going to do another Melba Listen tune. She wrote for a lot of bands, primarily for Dizzy's band in the 50s. She wrote for Gerald Wilson's band out here in LA when she was very young. And then most notably, she wrote for Quincy Jones's band in the 60s. There's some great videos of that band from 1960 and 61. And this is a tune that she wrote for the great Phil Wood. And we are going to feature 𝗣𝗥𝗢𝗚𝗥𝗔𝗠 on the alto saxophone. And this is called the Gypsy. Worth mentioning in a room full of music educators that a lot of this music you're hearing tonight has been published and is available. The Melba Liston charts are going to be published next year as part of our essentially Ellington program, which is now in its 30th year. And I know there's a couple bands from out here on the West Coast that will be joining us in May in New York City. The rest of the charts are available through eJazz Lines as part of our Blue Engine record series. All these have been recorded on our Blue Engine records, so just go to eJazz Lines and check them out. For our last tune, I want to again thank Dennis Crystal and all the folks at SCSBOA for having me out here. This is a wonderful event, and I can't wait to come back and see everybody again. Maybe come back next year and just hang out and not have to work. But again, how about kids? Give a hand for your parents who make all this possible. Taking your lessons, buying horns, listening to your classes. It doesn't always sound as good at home, I know that. So it's been a real joy and an honor and a pleasure. If you are interested in jazz, the institution I work for, Jazz at Lincoln Center, has all kinds of education programs. We have online classes, everything from our own summer camps to an online jazz academy. Just check us out at jazz.org and get involved if you'd like. And reach out to me at any time. We're happy to help any music educator who wants to teach jazz. This last one is by our good friend Carlos Henriquez, who's been our bass player for about 20 years. It was written for a tour we did in Cuba in 2010. And he takes a clave through a little trip through several various grooves and different things. And you're going to hear from a whole lot of different soloists. Just clap when they're done playing. But this is called 2/3's Adventure.
this, what a crowd to play for. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Todd. Thank you so much, Kathy Ollinger and the SCSBOA board for your support of jazz education here. We will see you again next year. Thank you. Don't forget, you can validate your parking in the back.